Hello again, boys and girls. I am so happy to have you with me again. And do you remember what today is? It's part 2 of Estrella's swap. Estella's swap. And if you look, the bookmark is still in. And I think we're ready. Quickly, eyes watching, ears listening, body still, and quiet voices. And for today, do you know it's story time, story time, story time? Do you know it's story time in your home today? And today is part 2 of Estella's swap. And you have to forgive me. I think I was calling her Estrella yesterday. I'm sorry about that. So let's begin. I'm just going to go back a little bit. And if you remember, Estella met the lady here who was selling flowers and was sewing the beautiful skirt. And she loved Estella's music box. And now we're ready to begin part 2. When Estella returned to her side of the aisle, she made sure everyone could hear the music box as they walked by. A customer paused in front of Estella. "How much?" he asked. $12, Estella said. She felt proud that she had left room to bargain. The man laughed and plunked down the music box. He walked out of sight. "Do you think he'll be back, Papa?" Estella asked. "I think he finds your price too high," Papa replied. A woman stepped up next. "Beautiful music," she said. "Would you like to make me an offer?" Estella asked hopefully. $2, the woman asked. Only $2? For a moment, Estella was speechless. Then she said, "I was asking 12, but for you, I'll sell it to you for $10. The woman smiled and walked away. Why do you think the woman walked away? Why did she walk away? She offered Estella $2. And Estella said no. Estella said 12, but for you, I'll give it to you for 10. Why did the woman walk away? Do you know? Do you understand? Yes, the woman didn't want to spend that much money. It was more money than she wanted to spend. Correct. You guys are really thinking. "How's it going?" Javier asked. "Oh, Javier," Estella said, I was so sure someone would buy my music box right away. Maybe you should have brought more than just one thing to sell. Then you'd have more chances to earn $10. Without warning, a strong wind ripped through the swap meet, catching everyone by surprise. Tarps tore loose, whipping and snapping. Tents turned topsy-turvy. Dishes crashed and metal poles clanked to the ground. Estella reached for her music box to keep it from blowing away. Can you see everything blowing away in the picture? There's Papa's hat. It's blowing away. He's trying to catch it. And here's Estella trying to get to her music box. My flowers, the woman across the way called above the clatter. The flower seller's pots had smashed to the ground. Her tissue paper flowers had flown away like little birds. She sat on the skirt she was sewing to keep that from flying away too. Estella ran to help. Without thinking, she put her music box on the woman's table. She pulled a tent pole upright so it wouldn't fall on the woman's head. Just then, she heard another crash. What do you think was the crash that she heard? What do you predict happened next. Estella spun around. Her music box! It was smothered by pieces of broken flower pots. Oh no, Estella thought, it's probably broken. No one will buy it now, especially if it's broken. Estella was afraid to look closely. Instead, she helped the flower seller. She straightened the tent posts. Then she went up and down the aisles, searching for the paper flowers that had blown away. Estella was very kind. She was helping the woman before she was helping herself. When Estella returned, the flower seller was smiling. She held out the music box. Estella looked away when she saw its battered cover. The woman opened the box. The sounds of music floated out. It still sings, little one, the woman said. Her music box was all right. She could put paint over the scratches, and she could still sell it. Estella held her music box tightly and danced for joy, but then she noticed almost everything was gone from the flower seller's stall. What will you do now? Estella asked. The woman shook her head. Today, nothing, but next Sunday, flowers. I have a whole week to make more. How can she do all that work in just 1 week? Estella wondered. Suddenly, she knew what to do, even if it meant she wouldn't earn any money today. Please, Senora, I want to give you this. Estella held out her music box. Now you can listen to music while you make the flowers. The flower seller hesitated. Hesitated means she waited for a moment. Then she said, Gracias, little one. Gracias. Estella walked back across the aisle to where Papa and Javier were waiting. Secretly, she hoped the flower seller would call her back and return the music box. But she didn't. Estella tried to put the music box out of her mind as she thought about what she could bring to the swap meet next week. Buyers liked low prices. Maybe she could sell some of her old games or stuffed animals. When she got home, she'd search her room for other things buyers might want. She'd also have to ask Papa if she could come back next week. Later in the day, near closing time, Papa suddenly called out, Estella, your friend is here. Estella turned around. There was the flower seller. Since we are at a swap meet, the woman said, it is only fair that we swap. She handed Estella a bag. Goodbye for now, little one, the flower seller said, and she hurried off. Estella looked inside. The falda, she exclaimed. Estella pulled a skirt out of the bag and put it on right over her clothes. She twirled around and around, picturing herself dancing with the ballet. May I come back with you next week, Papa? Estella asked, thinking of the money she still needed to earn. Of course, Estella. It looks like you know how to swap, Papa said. Yes, said Estella, but now I need to learn how to sell. And there is the lovely Estella in the beautiful skirt that the flower lady swapped with her. Boys and girls, thank you so much for listening to part 2 of Estella's Swap. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you real soon. Bye, guys.